My immature brother-in-law broke my boyfriend's boundary and my boyfriend assaulted him. My whole family is telling me to leave my boyfriend. So my boyfriend isn't a huge fan of my sister's husband. My brother-in-law is really into military stuff even though he never was in the military. While my boyfriend was a US Marine for 5 years. When they met, my brother-in-law tried to act all buddy-buddy and even said these people don't understand warriors like us. My boyfriend finds it annoying both that my brother-in-law is trying to claim warrior status while being a banker. And my boyfriend is not fond of the military after all it did to him, so he gets ticked off when people idolize it. But the problem started when my sister and brother-in-law came over last week. It was a generally nice night, other than a passive-aggressive remark by the brother-in-law when he learned I was not cooking, but in fact my boyfriend is. I'm a terrible cook and he's amazing at it, so he generally cooks. After dinner we were all getting caught up in the living room and their son Jack was getting bored and started walking around. My boyfriend got up after him to watch over him as an excuse to get out of the conversation. This is what my boyfriend said happened. He followed Jack around the house until Jack said he was bored, trying to be a good uncle. My boyfriend offered to show him his office and they went inside. My boyfriend is protective of his office as only him and I are allowed inside, so this was a big deal. But my boyfriend wanted to be a good host and uncle. So he showed Jack around the office, showed him his Warhammer armies, the knives he forges, his gaming PC, and everything else until they got to a locked cabinet. Jack asked why it was locked. My boyfriend explained his firearms were in there and if his parents allowed it he would take Jack shooting one day. A little while later my brother-in-law followed them into the office. My boyfriend was annoyed he was in there but felt he couldn't kick him out as his son was in there and he had the right to be there. Brother-in-law started talking to him about my boyfriend's firearms and wanted to see them. My boyfriend was hesitant but felt there was no harm because brother-in-law is a grown man, also he keeps the ammo in the garage across the house. He opened the cabinet and asked my brother-in-law not to touch them unless he hands them to him. My brother-in-law promptly ignores this, grabs a firearm from a rack, does not check if it's clear and starts waving it around. My brother-in-law then thought it would be funny to pretend to shoot his son, so he pointed the firearm at Jack. My boyfriend reached for the firearm, knocked brother-in-law to the ground and secured the firearms. Then all hell broke loose. Brother-in-law started screaming at my boyfriend and my sister ran to check what was going on. Then my sister started screaming about how my boyfriend could let her son near a firearm. My boyfriend isn't a yeller. He's not afraid of confrontation but he never yells. He just calmly put his firearm away, locked the cabinet, looked at me with a "these people are idiots" look, and waited for a lull in the screaming. He told them get the F out. Brother-in-law got in his face and acted like they were gonna fight. My boyfriend just started him down until brother-in-law backed off. Boyfriend's 6'3", muscular and carries himself like a former Marine. He basically just stared my sister and brother-in-law out of the house, never raised his voice, never said anything threatening. But after that the story my family was told is that he's a sociopath with an arsenal, has PTSD and all of them are blowing up my phone trying to get me to leave him. Apparently they even called the cops but we live in his hometown. The local sheriff taught my boyfriend how to hunt as a kid so the sheriff knew it was a BS report but still reached out to me to confirm. I assured him and my family countless times that he is not dangerous or hurting me. It's starting to get to me and I don't know what to do. My immature brother-in-law broke my boyfriend's boundary and my boyfriend assaulted him. My whole family is telling me to leave my boyfriend. I contacted the family members I am closest with and told our side of the story to mixed responses. Some people believed us, but unfortunately most either didn't believe us or they did but still pushed me to leave my boyfriend. Apparently, the thought that a man could disarm and knock a person to the ground is so violent that only a PTSD-ridden psychopath could commit such an act. One surprising good thing that came out of this is apparently the sheriff, who is an old friend of my boyfriend, and his father reached out to the boyfriend's father and his family started coming in for support. It was a bridge that needed to be built, albeit in a weird way. I never dug much into it but my boyfriend was estranged from his family. Basically he's the son of some local powerful man. His mother, who died a while ago, was physically and mentally abusive. His father didn't know because he was too busy at work. My boyfriend was expected to go to an Ivy League college and be some politician or something. But my boyfriend believed that would be selling his soul, so he ran off and joined the Marines. He just needed to run away from that life and it just festered for years. Neither party was brave enough to reach out until this incident. His entire family reached out to offer support. His brother and his wife came over a few nights ago to meet me and have dinner. His father put us in contact with his lawyer in case they tried again, and we're planning a dinner with the whole family. My boyfriend seems happy. Honestly, both me and him feel like we refound a family. My family has been thoroughly unsupportive of me and this isn't the first time. After telling my side I went no contact with them.